Hello everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Hey everyone, you like Iron Butterfly? I love Iron Butterfly. I am the biggest Iron Butterfly fan I know. Matter of fact, I'm the only Iron Butterfly fan I know. People love In-A-Godda-Da-Vida, but not necessarily Iron Butterfly. Now, I thought I had covered this album already, and I also thought I had covered the Scorching Beauty album already. I hadn't. The only Iron Butterfly album I have covered to this day is Heavy, the very first Iron Butterfly album. So, I'm just going to cover all of these Iron Butterfly albums, and I mean all the Iron Butterfly albums, in order for you guys. Now, go back, watch my review for Heavy. I'm going to post up here which review it is. And of course, it's not going to match the quality of this review. I do apologize. But, you know, it was recorded way back early on in the reviews. So, check it out. The Butterfly Flaps. Flaps. I got the special edition. This is the special edition version. Now, there's a couple things going on here I need to talk about. Now, I'm going to cover, and I keep saying the word now, my apologies. I'm going to cover the special edition version, but there is also the good old-fashioned regular version, and there's nothing wrong with getting the regular version instead of the special edition version. I got the special edition version because I'm an Iron Butterfly fan. You'll notice that this is just a nice little flimsy one. You'll notice there's this cute little box here. Now, in order for me to complete my Iron Butterfly collection, I couldn't get all the albums individually. I tried. I looked for all the albums I didn't have individually. The only way I could get all the albums I needed was through two different special kind of sets. And it kind of annoyed me because I already had half this set. Well, not quite half. I already had today's review In-A-Godda-Da-Vida, and I already had Heavy, which I've already reviewed. There's also 3 other albums on here which I did not have, but I now have, which is why I bought this set, which I will get to more when I get to those reviews, which will be coming up starting in the next review. So, the reason why I've got all this filler in the beginning is this is not exactly a long album with a lot of tracks on it to cover. There are 6 songs on here. 5 of them make up side 1 of the original vinyl. 1 of them makes up the other side. Then there is the single and the live version. Live version. Whoa. Okay, alright. Most people, when you mention Iron Butterfly, is In-A-Godda-Da-Vida. That's all they know. Weirdly enough, it is very rare I listen to In-A-Godda-Da-Vida as a song anymore. Since I've gotten into Iron Butterfly, there are so many other songs out there. In-A-Godda-Da-Vida is still a fantastic song. I still love it. I still listen to it very faithfully and happily to this day. But, there are other songs on here that are just as cool. Just not as long. It's not a 10-minute drum solo either. No matter how much everybody says there's a 10-minute drum solo in there, it's not a 10-minute drum solo. It's an instrumental interlude which features a drum solo, and the drum solo part, I think, is around 4 or 5 minutes. But there's a lot of guitar and other stuff going on in there, okay? Organs, stuff like that. Mood, ambiance. As a drummer, that irks me when everybody goes on about it being a drum solo. No, all those other parts are in there because they were necessary. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Most Anything You Want opens up this album. Great hippie tune. Most anything you want, girl, is all I can do. I can't remember the lyrics to most anything. Great. I'm horrible with lyrics. I apologize, folks. I always have been. Depending on the song. Most Anything You Want, it really just, it's a good, fun song. I don't know if I would have used it as the opener. I really do think that they kind of switched some tracks around a little bit. I think the best opener actually would have been the closer to side 1 or side A, but I'll come back to that. Flowers and Beads. Okay, so Flowers and Beads, really kind of hippie. Problem is, after Most Anything You Want, it's a little too hippie trippy. You know, Flowers and beads are one thing, but loving you, girl, that's something. Something. Yeah, I'm forgetting the words at the moment, but it's too fluffy, lovey. A little bit. You wish much. Uh, and then we get into My Mirage. My Mirage is a good tune. Really is. It's a the Iron Butterfly does some really great, weird, psychedelic, trippy kind of screw with you. I can't believe you play this kind of music for people that have heads full of acid. I mentioned this in other songs later too. My Mirage, well, it's not a song that I'd say you shouldn't play for people with a head full of acid. It's definitely inspired by people that have a head full of acid. And actually, that's actually a misconception when it comes to Iron Butterfly as well, depending on who you go to. With this special edition set, it did come with a little booklet in it, which unfortunately I seem to have misplaced over the years. It had a nice little cover that went around it and everything. The booklet that came with it had the story in it about In-A-Godda-Da-Vida, and it had nothing to do with acid. He was drunk off of his ass. And if you've ever been around drunk fuckers when they're singing, like, for example, go listen to Motley Crue and Vince Neil as of recent years, you'll know what I'm saying. It's easy to get to from In the Garden of Eden to In the Garden of Eden, you know. Once again, just go listen to Vince Neil live on stage these days. You'll know what I'm talking about. All right, and then we get to Termination. Termination, to me, is probably the most forgettable song on the album. It's not a bad tune, but it really... Even after all these years, after all the times I've listened to this album, and I've listened to this album a lot. A lot. Man, I probably listened to it 100 times before I got out of 1995, you know. Actually, that's not true. I don't think I picked up this copy until like 96 or 97. The date on it's 95. But the year I bought it, I guarantee you, 100 times before that year ended. And Termination is, once again, like I said, it's not a bad tune. It's just weakest song on the album, most forgettable song on the album, I think. Are You Happy? This is the song that should have started the album, man. Are you happy now? Down, 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 down. Great tune, man. Like this is definitely a killer opening. It's funny because also going back into the book that was in here, they were talking about drummer Ron Bushy. Doug Ingalls used to drive him nuts by putting this song at the front of the set of the list, or the front of the set list. Sorry, and the reason why is because of how insane the drum opening is, man. Like the drums are crazy on the first minute on here. I've tried doing it a few times. More than a few times. Way more than a few times. Usually by myself because it is that much of a pain in the ass that it sounds like shit if you don't do it right. And really, really good, tough, rough opening, man. Like it gets the blood moving right away and really sucks the energy out of you really, really fast. So as I was saying, this album is the In-A-Godda-Da-Vida album, and the second side of this album contains one track. And since there's only one song in this album I haven't talked about, we all know what it is. All right. In-A-Godda-Da-Vida. If you don't know the song In-A-Godda-Da-Vida, just go learn it. Like, someone screwed up in your life. I don't know if it's your dad screwed up not introducing you to it. If your mom had introduced you to it, I would have been kind of surprised. I don't know if your uncle screwed up not introducing... Someone screwed up not introducing you to this song in your family, okay? If you don't already know the song In-A-Godda-Da-Vida, at least from watching movies, okay? It has been in numerous movies. It's popped up in numerous references. Freddy's Dead is one of my favorite times that it shows up, you know. Hey, Spencer, let's trip out. You know. Or you've got Manhunter, the very first version of what became known as Silence of the Lambs. Okay, there was a movie called Mindhunter before that, with Hannibal Lecter and whatnot. I don't think it was actually Silence of the Lambs. I think it was actually Red Dragon. That's what it was. It was Red Dragon. Mindhunter was based off the book Red Dragon, which was, the prequel to Silence of the Lambs, or the book before. Whatever. Anyways, in there, they use almost the full song. They cut out about 3-4 minutes, whatnot. Great use of this song, man. Beautiful use of the song. Good movie, too. It's worth checking out. Just for the use of the song, it's worth checking out. And then, of course, probably the most famous use of the song, The Simpsons. And I absolutely love when they use it in The Simpsons, because The Simpsons actually time credited it properly. When they do the, they do the whole intro and everybody's singing along, and then it goes blah 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 minutes and seconds later, and she collapses. It was done properly. That was actually, like, when you time it out and you actually go and look at it, it was perfect. It was beautiful. So if you don't know this song, something has gone horribly wrong in your life. And I recommend go watch the Simpsons version of it first. It's a short single version of it, more or less. They obviously don't do the drum solo. That would have been awesome and hilarious. But now, speaking of the single version of this is only 2.5, 3 minutes long. Really short. Basically gets you through, like, the kind of opening part of the song, and as it goes into the instrumental part, it kind of just does a brief little kind of transition to the instrumental and transitions out right away and goes into the outro. Really cool. If all you really want to hear is that's all you need to hear. It's on here. It's good. The actual full-length song is fantastic. The one thing I'm going to say, the live version on here, disappointing. I was actually hoping for more out of the live version than I got, and I was really disappointed with the live version. I don't like the way it sounds, and it's really interesting because the live version on here is over 20 minutes. I think it's almost 22 minutes. And I have another live version, which I'm going to talk about in another review, on here, this album right here, the live album. They both sound really similar to the point where I almost want to say the version on the live album is the same as this one. But it's been edited a little bit, and it's got different mixes in the balance. This one doesn't sound as cool as that one does. I will take that one over this one any day of the week. The song In-A-Godda-Da-Vida, though. Once again, you should know this song. If you're watching this review, chances are you know this song. Okay, so I'm not going to go on about this anymore. Should you own this album? Yes. Do you need the fancy deluxe version? No. No. Just go get the basic one. As much as I kind of downplay some of the songs on here, like most anything you want, it's not a bad tune. Flowers and Beads is not a bad tune. They're both honestly good songs. My Mirage is a really cool tune. Nice and trippy. Termination, Are You Happy is ball-bustingly awesome. And In-A-Godda-Da-Vida, man, which is classic rock history, These are songs you have to have. You got to listen to these songs, man. You got to put this in the CD player and crank it up. This is proto metal. Acid rock is the term that I always knew it as growing up as a kid. They called this acid rock because of how hard it was and how, rock busting it was and everything else like that. To me, it's metal. It's the exact same level of metal as Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, quite a few of the other bands from that time, Zeppelin, stuff like that. Like, this is just as heavy, if not heavier, than some of them. Anyways, folks, my thoughts, my views, my opinions. Iron Butterflies, In-A-Godda-Da-Vida. Let me know what your thoughts, your views, and your opinions are. Drop me a comment below. While you're going down, you're going down. Yeah! Click the link on a Patreon. Throw some money my way. Wouldn't mind. That'd be great. I don't, I do a lot of work into these. Like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications, please and thank you. Hit those for me. Peace, love, take care.